Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So it's time for another haul, and this is going to be a long one. So definitely get comfortable, get something to drink, and we're gonna get started. There are some real gems in this haul, and there are also, unfortunately, a few fragrances that I wouldn't call total fails, but fragrances that I'm not sure about yet. I sort of like them, I sort of don't, and I'm not sure yet if they're going to stay in my collection permanently, but I will explain as we get to them. So let's start with a house that I have been interested in for quite a while. And I sampled a few of their fragrances, 2 or 3, I believe. This summer, I wasn't really crazy about them, and so I didn't pursue this any further. But then a few of their other fragrances have been talked about lately quite a lot, and I decided to give this house another chance. I am talking about Imaginary Authors, and the first fragrance I was interested in was Memoirs of a Trespasser. But because I've tried some of their samples and wasn't crazy about them, I was afraid to blind buy it, and so surprisingly, I decided to test it first. I got a sample, I tried it, I really liked it, and so I purchased a full bottle. So this is how the packaging looks. It definitely looks like a book. Very interesting, kind of unique type of packaging. I really like it. Nothing, nothing extra here. So we open it. The bottle is here, and you can see that there is a little sample of another fragrance here. I'm not going to take it out. It's kind of hard to take out, but all I remember is I didn't like the sample. But we're here to talk about this one. This is Memoirs of a Trespasser. So here's the bottle. So the notes in here are vanilla, oak, Gaiac wood, myrrh, benzoin, clay, amberette. So overall, this is a vanilla fragrance. So of course, that's why I was interested in it. And it is vanilla. It also, what's interesting about this one, it has, I would call it kind of a burning candle vibe. It sort of feels like there is a candle burning somewhere, and maybe it's clay that brings this in. I'm not sure. So it is vanilla. It is not overly sweet. You definitely get woody elements. So it is very woody vanilla. It does have that kind of burning candle vibe. There's nothing extraordinary about this fragrance. To me, it is pretty simple, but it is a beautiful vanilla with this interesting clay element, which again, to me, comes off as a burning candle. Or perhaps it's something made out of clay burning in the oven. I don't know, maybe that's what it is. But it is warm, it is comforting, it is not too sweet, which makes it totally unisex. It is a beautiful, warm vanilla. I really enjoy this one. And of course, once I tried a sample of this, I wanted to explore this house more. And one fragrance in particular I was so curious about, and that's a whiff of a waffle cone. It's another sort of sweet gourmand vanilla type of scent, and that's why I was curious about it. That one I did not have an opportunity to sample, and I decided, okay, I'm going to risk it and I'm going to blind buy it. So here I have a whiff of a waffle cone, and when I was thinking about purchasing these two fragrances, I actually asked a few people who have sampled both, what do you think? Which one do you prefer? If I'm only going to get one, and overwhelmingly, most everyone said, if you're going to get one, go with Memoirs of a Trespasser. But of course, I ended up going with both. So let's look at this one. The packaging is exactly the same. You have the fragrance, another sample inside. So here it is. And from what I understand, this one is sold only on their official website. At least that's the only place where I found it. Whereas, all the other fragrances from this house are sold on many different websites. So this is supposed to, as you can tell by the name, supposed to smell like inside of an ice cream shop. And if you watched my video on Ganache Parfums, I mentioned the fragrance in there called Ice Cream Shop, which again has the same idea. It's supposed to smell like an ice cream shop. And that one really does. It has a very, very sweet, very realistic smell of ice cream. It's like you have a ton of different ice cream and that's all you're getting. And I sort of said in that video that it almost smelled too realistic, too much like ice cream, like I couldn't really wear it. And my concern with this one was the same, that it would smell too much like ice cream. So let me tell you about the notes first, and then I'll tell you what I think about the actual fragrance. So we have caramel, syrup, vanilla, whipped cream, amorous, ice cream, and cinnamon. And I have to tell you right off the bat, it does not have the same effect that Ganache Ice Cream Shop had on me. This does not smell overwhelmingly like ice cream. You definitely get ice cream in here. But what I also get is definitely this waffle cone. More, it feels to me like, you know, when you make waffles at home in this, I would call it waffle maker. I don't know if there's any other official name for it, but you know, you pour the waffle mix or dough, whatever it's called, into it, and then you have this sort of hot metal that gives off a bit of smoke or a bit of smell as well. This is kind of what I'm getting here. It's this waffle cone being made, being baked, together with ice cream. Again, ice cream is not too strong, not too sweet. And I get a touch of this kind of a smoky element here. This is absolutely stunning. I love this fragrance. Now, I like both of the ones that I got from Imaginary Authors, the Memoirs of a Trespasser and this one. But if somebody asked me the same question that I asked when I was looking into these, you know, if I'm only thinking of getting one, because although they're not the same by any means, but both are sweet vanilla type of scents. So if anyone asked me, well, which one would you recommend? My recommendation would actually be a Whiff or a Waffle Cone. I have to admit that I like this one a bit more than Memoirs of a Trespasser. And the other thing I want to mention is I've seen some reviews saying that, you know, the initial kind of opening of this fragrance is great, but then the way that it sort of plays on their skin, it becomes something else and becomes not something that they like. Fortunately for me, this doesn't happen. I mean, this is a pretty linear scent on me. It doesn't change too much. Again, it's not a complex scent, but it is absolutely beautiful. It is definitely like walking into an ice cream shop, but you're not just getting ice cream, you're definitely getting this waffle cone that was just made. So this is absolutely beautiful. Memoirs of a Trespasser is really, really nice too. I really like this one, but this one edges just a touch above for me. Next, I have a fragrance from Penhaligon'S, and this is a fragrance that I have been interested in for a long time. It has been on my radar, and this is Equinox Blue. So here's the box. I open it. The bottle is so lovely with this little pink bow. It is just beautiful, very, very elegant bottle. So I have been, like I said, interested in this for a while, but again, I didn't want to blind buy it. So I got a sample of it first, and it was, you know, those little dabber type of samples, which are really hard to apply. But I tried it several times. I really, really liked the scent, and that's why I decided to get the full bottle. So the notes in here are neroli, hortensia, violet leaf, frangipani, jasmine, orange blossom, brown sugar, amber oxide, benzoin. Now, when I put all of those notes together, what I get out of this is very spicy, slightly floral, warm tea. This definitely has the tea vibe, even though tea is not one of the notes, but Like I said, I get warm, sweet, spicy, very spicy, slightly floral tea. And here's an interesting thing that happened with this fragrance, because I will tell you now, this is one of the fragrances that I'm not sure about, even though I purchased it after sampling. Because like I said, I had that Dabur sample, you know, it's hard to wear it properly. So when I got this and I applied it, I loved it. Initially, I loved it. And this is very good performance, I have to say. But the longer it sat on my skin, the more it started annoying me. I don't know how else to put it. It was just the spiciness of the scent was annoying me. And by the end of the day, I couldn't wait to scrub it off my skin. And I tried it one more time and it had exactly the same effect. For some reason, long term, I'm getting tired of this spiciness. It's starting to annoy me. So I don't know about this one. I like the opening. I like it the first couple of hours, but I cannot wear it long term. So I am really questioning if this is going to stay in my collection. I don't know. I might give it one more wear, and if I still have the same experience, it is definitely going to go, because, you know, I don't want to wear something that I can't wait to get off my skin by the end of the day. I want to enjoy it through the whole life of the scent. So this is an example of, you know, showing you that sampling doesn't always work either. I sampled this one. I thought I loved it, but turns out I don't love it long term. Next one is another one that I am not sure about. And this one was a blind buy. Now, this is from Galleria Parfums, and this is called Cognac Café. So this is a line that Ashton from Jensen's came up with. I believe he's the creative director, and he came up with 5 or 6 different scents. And this one was the one that really interested me. Of course, Cognac Café. I like coffee scents. I really enjoy boozy scents. So I thought this would be right up my alley. And I wasn't really going to purchase it originally, but then it popped up on Fragrance Buy and I just couldn't resist. I had to get it and try it. So let me finish showing you the packaging first. So in this outside box, we have another box. The packaging is very nice, very luxe, well made. So here's the other box. We open it. There is a card here. Sorry for the noise. And the fragrance is inside. So let me take it out. Here's the bottle. Very nice. So the notes in here are coffee, brown sugar, almond, licorice, cognac, sandalwood, papyrus, vanilla, oak, cedar, and myrrh. Again, I thought I was absolutely going to love this. So when I first sprayed this on, the opening of this fragrance is stunning. I get such beautiful coffee, but it's not too strong. Like if, for example, if I compare it to Follow from Kerosene, it is not as strong of a coffee as it is there. This is kind of lighter coffee. It is definitely sweet. It is mixed with something sweet. So there is brown sugar, there is vanilla. So I'm definitely getting sweet coffee. And then I think there is a coffee steam in here as well, which I'm definitely in the opening kind of getting that it's like a freshly brewed coffee and I'm getting a whiff of that coffee coming to me. So it is absolutely stunning. Now the opening, this initial opening lasts a couple of minutes on me. Then after that, as it starts drying down, coffee kind of goes very much in the background and I am left more with just something sweet. It is more like, now I'm getting a little bit of cognac and I'm getting kind of caramelly vibe. Maybe it's, brown sugar with vanilla. I'm not sure, but it almost feels like a bit of caramel with a touch of cognac and maybe a touch of coffee. So coffee goes very much in the background. And that lasts maybe another half an hour. And then after that, it goes into a final dry down. And this is where my problem arrives. I don't like that stage because now coffee has disappeared pretty much completely. Cognac is still a little bit there. Brown sugar is now very strong. It's not anymore sort of that caramel. It's more of a brown sugar vibe. And I'm getting a strange scent, and I'm guessing that licorice is coming out very, very strongly. I am not a huge fan of that note, especially when it's at the forefront. When it's, blended with other things, I can deal with it. But when it's right at the forefront, and I believe that to my nose, it comes out right to the forefront, and I'm getting licorice more than anything else. And I am not a huge fan of the dry down. So I love the opening. I like the initial dry down, but I really don't like the final dry down, which is really the longest stage of this fragrance. So this one is very, very new. It sort of just arrived, so I haven't had enough time to play with it. I'm definitely going to test it a few more times, but if I'm still gonna get the same result, most likely this one is not going to stay because, like I said, the dry down is just not working for me. So again, this is Cognac Café from Galleria Parfums. Next, I have a fragrance from Lattafa, and this is Oud for Glory. Now, the reason I purchased this one, which is, of course, very inexpensive fragrance, is because this is supposed to be a dupe for Initio Oud for Greatness. And I'm really curious about that fragrance. I haven't had a chance to sample it. And so I decided I'm just going to get this one and try it out and see if I like it. So here's how it looks. The box opens up. Here's the bottle. It really, everything, not just the smell, but the bottle and presentation look very, very similar to Initio. Here it is. So I'm going to tell you the notes quickly, and then I'm going to share with you what it smells like and what I think about it. So we have saffron, lavender, nutmeg, oud, patchouli, musk. When I sprayed it initially, I sort of got a pretty strong oud with something else. I wasn't crazy about it. My husband absolutely fell in love with it from the first spray and told me right away, okay, you don't like it, I'm taking it to be part of my collection. But when it started drying down and when I tried it for the second time and when I smelled it on him, the scent really started growing on me. And I hate saying this because this is all of us say this way too much about too many fragrances, but this really has a Baccarat Rouge vibe. It really does. It is not a dupe by any means, but it goes in really the same direction. But I am not a fan of Baccarat Rouge. I like this one so much more because it is not as strong. It is not as potent. All the notes are not as pronounced. I find it much softer. And I'm guessing that the common note here is saffron, and saffron is the culprit here for making this sort of similar or making me think of Baccarat Rouge. So I've never tried the original Oud for Greatness. I don't know if they're similar. I assume that they are because I've heard a lot of reviews saying that they are. This one is a lovely scent. It is actually beautiful. It kind of grew on me. But, and I haven't heard anyone else say that about this fragrance. I have to say that the performance on this one is horrible. I mean, really horrible. And it's horrible on me. Like I said, my husband loved the scent. He has worn it a few times. It's horrible on him as well. There is absolutely no projection. In order for me to smell this, I really have to put my nose to the skin very closely. Otherwise, it does not project at all. And the lasting power is pretty bad as well. A couple of hours. And, for an oud fragrance, I would expect so much more. So, although I really enjoyed the scent, I don't know, again, if I'm going to keep this bottle because of the performance. I am almost thinking of actually getting the original, Initio Oud for Greatness, because from what I hear about that fragrance, it has great performance because the scent is similar and I really enjoyed the scent, but I wanted to perform well as well. So I think what's most likely going to happen is I'm going to declutter this one and eventually I'm going to get Initio. But it's a lovely, lovely scent. I would be curious to know if you've tried this, how the performance is on you, because again, like I said, I haven't really heard anyone complaining about performance, but for us, the performance was terrible. Okay, it looks like this haul is going to be quite long. I'm sorry about that. I hope you stayed with me, but I have quite a few more fragrances to go through and they are really, really good. I mean, the rest of them are pretty amazing. So the next one I'm going to talk about is really inspired by Sebastian from Smelling Great Fragrances. I can never remember his YouTube channel name. It's kind of long, but I'm definitely going to link it in the description. I have to say, I absolutely love his channel. He's one of my most favorite people to watch. He talks about so many different fragrances and not just men's fragrances. A lot of them are unisex or even, you know, female fragrances. He talks about so many that nobody else talks about. Absolutely love his channel. And this is a fragrance that he has mentioned several times. And because this is a vanilla fragrance, I had to try it. Now, this is Serendipitous from Serendipity 3. I think I got it right. So it comes in this simple little brown box and it's a simple looking bottle, which I don't mind at all. And this really wasn't terribly expensive. So the notes in here are vanilla, cacao, bitter orange. Very simple. And he was so right about this. And this is so beautiful. This is right up my alley. Absolutely love it. You get sweet vanilla. Mostly what I get is vanilla with orange. It is definitely smells like a pastry. If I had to compare it to anything, I would say for me, this is kind of a mix of Love and Crime from Ex Irolo and Al Contrario from Tiziana Terenzi. It sort of has that orangey sweet vibe from Love and Crime, and then it has a definite bakery vibe that I'm getting from Al Contrario. So if you kind of put the two together, you get this beautiful, sweet, delicious, good performance, not a beast, but very, very decent performance. This is stunning. And I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was definitely under $100. Beautiful, beautiful gem. Not many people talk about this. I don't know if I've heard anyone else mention this beside him, but I'm so glad that I listened and tried it. This is for a gourmand lover. This is absolutely beautiful. Next one, I have a purchase from one of my favorite houses, and that's the house of Xerjoff. I got Naxos, and this was a test. So I threw out the white box, and I just have the bottle here. Here you go. Beautiful bottle. This is 100 ml. I actually, when I was purchasing it, for some reason, I thought it was 50 ml, but when it arrived, it turned out to be this huge 100 ml bottle. This was a blind buy, so I was definitely nervous about it. And I will tell you right away, this was not a love at first sniff, but the more I smelled it and the more I tried it, the more I started falling in love with it. So the notes in here are lavender, bergamot, lemon, honey, cinnamon, tobacco, vanilla, cashmeran, jasmine, and tonka. So in the opening, I am definitely getting a blast of citruses and I'm getting lavender. And I don't know if it's lavender that's causing this or something else. I'm going to blame lavender for this, but I'm getting a very strong kind of minty vibe. And that's what kind of threw me off when I originally tried it. I'm also, as it starts drying down, more of the honey is coming out and more of the tobacco is coming out. But tobacco is not very strong in here at all. It's more like honey with citruses. And as it starts drying down, this menthol vibe goes away eventually, but it is quite strong at the beginning. The dry down of this is stunning, absolutely stunning. When this menthol vibe is gone and you get this such beautiful, rich, deep, sweet honey, but it's not overpowering honey. And you get a touch of tobacco in the background and some citruses kind of mixing beautifully with sweet honey. Absolutely stunning. It was the opening that I really needed to get used to because, like I said, that menthol vibe kind of threw me off. But this scent in the dry down is so addictive. When I wear it, I cannot stop smelling myself. It smells delicious. It smells rich. It smells deep. It smells a little bit unusual. This is definitely a unisex scent. Anyone can wear it. This is, I would say, a unique scent to my collection. I definitely don't have anything else that smells this way. So not a love at first sniff, and I would recommend to anyone definitely sample it first. But this is a scent that really has grown on me, and I find that every time that I wear it, I like it more and more and more. So again, this is Naxos from Xerjoff. Next, we have two more. I'll try to go quickly through them. Next, I have another fragrance from BDK Parfums. And I mentioned a few hauls back that I thought that I was done with this house for now, but as it turns out, no. This fragrance really piqued my interest, and I can't remember who talked about it, but the way that they described it really, really got me interested in it. I'm talking about Tabac Rose. So here's the box, the same packaging as for everything else. The only difference here is that the box is black, whereas in all my other ones, the box was white. And the boxes are falling all over. Sorry for the noise. So here's the bottle. It comes with a kind of golden cap and black label. Here we go. So originally, I never sort of was interested in this scent because of the name, Tabac Rose. I thought, okay, I have enough of, rose scents. Do I really need another one? I don't think I do. And rose mixed with tobacco, I don't know about that. So let me quickly go over the notes, and then I will tell you what it smells like, because I will tell you now that to me, the name is completely deceiving. So the notes in here are plum, lemon, pink pepper, rose, chocolate, cinnamon, tobacco, patchouli, labdanum. So this fragrance is very interesting and sort of difficult for me to explain what it smells like. Originally, when I spray it on, I get mostly plum with patchouli, maybe a little bit of pepper. There is a touch of sweetness, but it's very, very light, and it's very much in the background. So mostly plum with patchouli, maybe a touch of tobacco in here as well. And to me, the patchouli are kind of, at this point, kind of earthy. So there is sweetness there, but to me, the sweetness is not coming from patchouli. It's more coming from perhaps cinnamon, maybe chocolate, I'm not sure, but it's not coming from patchouli. I love this kind of earthy patchouli, but it's not dirty patchouli. It's just a touch earthy. Absolutely love it. As it starts drying down, the scent changes drastically. It becomes very sweet, but chocolatey sweet. Chocolate comes out very, very strong. And at that point, rose is coming in more, and it becomes this rose covered in chocolate. I don't know how else to explain it. Tobacco is never very strong here. it's barely present here to me. And as it dries down, patchouli kind of disappears or goes to the background as well, and also does the plum. And really in the dry down, it becomes so chocolatey with the touch of rose. It is so stunning. It's a very interesting scent, kind of complex to me because, like I said, it changes so much. It's like, to me, I almost experience two different scents, I feel like, because the beginning stages are all about this sort of slightly earthy patchouli with plum, and the dry down is all about chocolate covered rose. So beautiful. Such an interesting and unique scent. Very addictive as well. Has pretty good performance. So far, honestly, I've been lucky with BDK perfumes. All of them perform really well on me. I've heard some people complain about their performance. On me, they perform really well. This is so beautiful. So again, rose or Tabac Rose, I don't know, to me it's slightly deceiving. Tobacco, I think, plays very small part in this fragrance, at least on me. And rose really comes out more in the second half of this dry down. So definitely recommend. Don't think it's a safe blind buy. I would still say sample it first, but very beautiful. And finally, we made it to the last one. And this one, I think, is another hidden gem that I haven't heard anyone talk about. In fact, when I was researching it, I really had a hard time finding any information on it. Very few people talk about it. Now, this one is from Prada's, I guess, private line, which I've never really heard anything about, didn't know anything about it. And then this line again popped up on Fragrance Buy, and of course it piqued my curiosity and I wanted to try it. And out of everything that they had, I chose this one because I thought I would enjoy it the most. This is again a tester, so comes in white box. I still have this one because it again just arrived a few days ago. This is called Soleil or Zenith, perhaps. There you go. So white box, like I said. Here's the bottle. The bottle is beautiful. Such an elegant, classy looking bottle. Here we go. Of course, it leaves all the fingerprints on it, but nevertheless, it's beautiful. The cap is magnetic. Just really well made. So the notes in here are peach, ylang-ylang, sandalwood, nutmeg, cumin, vanilla, pimento. Okay, what concerned me in here, and this also called, I think fragrances in this line kind of have these sub names, let's call them. This one is spices. So I guess this fragrance is mostly about spices, and you can see that there are quite a few in a list of notes. And my major concern with this one was that one of the notes is peach, and I'm typically not a huge fan of a peach note. There's also obviously a lot of spices. Basically, I really didn't know what I was going to think about this one. And it is good. It is really good. So how would I describe it? This, I would say, is creamy, spicy, fruity, floral, slightly exotic, slightly tropical. So there is peach here, but it's such a nice peach. It is creamy, it is kind of fuzzy, it is not too peachy. There's also ylang-ylang, which kind of gives off this tropical vibe to me, I think. There is sandalwood, which makes it creamy, and there are a lot of spices, which definitely make this spicy. And of course, vanilla is here, which brings in sweetness. So I can definitely pick up pretty much everything that is listed here, but it is put together in such an amazing way. It is beautiful, creamy, spicy, sweet, slightly exotic, Amazing performance, really, really great performance. Beautiful, beautiful scent, very intoxicating. Again, it's the type of scent that the longer I wear it, the more I like it. So I would definitely recommend this one. Very, very interesting. Very curious about this line. Not sure if I want to try anything else, if there's anything that I can sort of, you know, safely blind buy, if there is such a thing. But really curious about this line. But this one in particular is stunning. Okay, I think this is too long as it is now, but I managed to go through all of the fragrances. I would definitely like to know if you have tried any of these ones and what your thoughts on them are. And in general, what have you picked up lately? So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.